Right, but see, here's your problem, right? You think that just because someone hurts you a little bit, right, you have a right to harm them. Right? You don't, right? See, if you're trying to kill me, my job ain't to try and kill you back on purpose. Now, if I accidentally kill you, you started in on me first, right? But, I'm not gonna just go after you, A, for no reason, and B, right, I don't even know what the problem would be between you and me unless you have a problem in your own life that you can't handle that I'm not even aware of, right? Right. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're calling me a pedophile, who was your first encounter? It wasn't me. Right. How do you know about pedophiles? Because I don't know you to know you that way, right? And that goes to Amanda, that goes to her mom, that goes to anyone, right? Even Sal himself. How do you know I will be a pedophile with your daughter if I'm not around her but briefly, right? And my job as her stepdad isn't any different than the stepmom's, right? To me, right? If you trust her with the woman, why can't you trust her with the man, right? Well, I'm not answering your question to your satisfaction at the problem I had with the shipmates in the church I was going out to. Right? Now, if you're teaching me the Bible, we don't have an issue yet. Dang. It's when you try to teach me something that's not in the Bible, like group masturbation, then we have a problem. That ain't in the Bible. Okay, when you tell me it's okay for another brother to masturbate with another brother, I ain't gonna trust you. If you try to take a shower with me with another man present, I ain't gonna feel comfortable around you. I'm just gonna say, nah, I'm alright. I'll take a shower by myself. I don't know. In that much of a hurry. And it won't be that long. Yeah. And again. Even Brother Dick could tell I didn't want to do it. Didn't do it. Because he was kind of there when the guy proposed it, right? But again, I do have witnesses, right? I don't know if they're true anymore, right? Because of what Davis might have been doing to them. I don't know. The thing is, though, right? To me, that's not normal, right? I don't know about you. And like I said, why does a transgender person try to look feminine? They already been told they look like a girl. I bet. Exactly. RuPaul. Right. I know that too. Someone growing up said, you look more like a girl than a boy anyway, I bet. And that's why RuPaul became a drag king. Queen. Whatever you want to call him. Well, sometimes he dresses up in night suits. So he's a drag king queen too, right? Whenever he wants to be. Right. Whatever. I don't judge nobody, right? That's the first thing I know. Someone made RuPaul. RuPaul was not born RuPaul, right? To be like that by God, right? That's what I mean. And I'm not saying Satan, okay, is in charge of RuPaul either. RuPaul seems to me as a decent human being, right? Problem is, you're not a decent human being. No, you're not. You're all worried about RuPaul. What, you think she's gonna come and fuck you? No. Is that it? Or do you think you're gonna meet her at the club and you're gonna want to fuck her, and then you're gonna want to kill her because you don't want her to know? It was you, right? Wanting her the whole time. Is that it? You're embarrassed? You find her that attractive? Right. When she's RuPaul? Right. And dressed up like the drag queen? Is that it? Do you agree with her? She should have been born a woman? Okay. What about it? Right? Trust me, even RuPaul knows she ain't got to sleep with your crazy ass. But you got to find a way in. Right? If you go to that extreme, yeah. You're lying to her too then, right? Because you're the one she should never be with, right? Right. Dude. But it don't mean someone who wants to trick someone can't trick someone either, right? Like I said, right? But I'm not even into RuPaul that way, but I like their entertainment factor as far as entertainment itself goes, right? I've seen men dress up like women. It don't bother me. Even Julie Andrews played Victoria. What the hell? Who cares? Half of her was male, half of her was female. Get over it. Get over it. But it's a role. It's a movie. It's something you can do here. And Moses wants you to disinherit your own children for doing it. All right. Why? He's testing you if you're going to favor his law above love. Right? Because all it is, for one, is clothing of some sort that you think was designed for a woman to wear. Like the kilt versus the skirt. Damn. Ain't all a kilt is a version of a skirt for a woman? Yeah, no. But a man could wear a kilt even without underwear. And he's still considered a man. Right. That's your hypocrisy. Right there. If a man can wear a kilt, a woman can wear jeans. But no, not around you. Not around you. She can't even wear a two-piece without your tongue coming out your mouth and whistling at her like a wolf. Like in the damn cartoons, right? But I'm around it too. I do the same thing to women. I'm not proud of it. I can't help it if that's part of my psyche, Sheena Johnson. But that's the point, right? I'm wearing Speedos when we meet. And all this shit. But a different shit than you. See, another thing about work sexual harassment is we're in the Navy together, but we're not on the same ship. Right? That's the point too, right? I'm someone you hooked up with. Whatever reasons you broke up with, you broke up, and that's all I know about it, right? And I had to accept it, right? And I did, right? And moved on, right? Even though right now I'm in a stalemate, ain't found a new girlfriend, it don't mean A, I'm not looking for one, and B, I'm not all obsessed with you, right? But you are an ex, right? I remember being with, no matter what, right? It's like any ex. It's like the woke who had 5 husbands and 1 lover, right? That's 6 men she had. Does that make her a slut, though? No. Does that make her any less a virgin if she and Jesus had sex? No. Not to Jesus. But she would not be one to you, huh? You see what I mean, dear? It's a matter of perspective, right? The woman, though, was having trouble with men. 5 of them done divorced her. Why do you think that was? No child? No child. Unlike Jacob and... I'm sorry, not Jacob, but he did have a problem with Rachel, but not Leah. But anyway, let's get back to the real story. Abraham and Sarah and Isaac and Rebekah. Both Isaac and Abraham had a problem conceiving with their wife, right? Now, the difference is Isaac didn't bring in a different woman, but... and this will blow your mind, Jeeves. Did she bring in another man? Uh-oh. Who? Esau. Dumbass. Right. Now, didn't the Spirit say 2 angels are within you? Right. 2 nations. 2 nations. Well, the only way there can be 2 nations if they have 2 different fathers, right? Not just 2 different sperms impregnating 2 different eggs, right? Listen to what the Spirit's saying to the church. So, or you're not listening, Jews. So why Jacob is your father and not Esau. Though Esau acts more like who? Isaac. Ishmael to begin with. Right. Because Ishmael is his father and Jacob is Isaac's only son. Right. Just as something's off with Eleazar and Abraham. Right. Now, listen to what Esau says. This is the second time he tricked me. Not the first, but the second. Who would be the first time? Hagar and Eleazar, right? See, here's the thing. Who inherits Abraham's stuff if he doesn't have a son? Eleazar, right? But if him and Hagar are already knocking boots, right? Because guess who's serving Sarah? Hagar. Guess who's serving Abraham? Eleazar. Wouldn't it be natural for those two to have a relationship anyway, Jews? Think about it now. Before Abraham and Sarah got pregnant themselves. Now, again, he knows better, but have Pharaoh and Abimelech, than to touch Sarah, but not Hagar. Right. Now, this is the second time he tricked me. Not the first, but the second. 2 times. He sold his birthright for the porridge, and he stole the blessing. Just a little meal. Meaning he wanted food more than his birthright, which would feed him forever. But that's because it wasn't really his birthright. It was really Isaac. See, if I switch seeds, which is the point with David, Uriah's wife is bathing naked where the man can see her. Don't tell me she don't know King David well enough by this time to know that the man's going to notice her and send for her. And don't tell me, that David is trying to investigate her because she's a beautiful woman. Let's go ahead and say it. And see what she's all about too. That's the only way these adultery affairs can happen anyway. They both wanted to just try a little something on the side. The question is, though, when was she with Uriah last? Which is left out in the story. You don't know. You do know, though, biblically, that Moses says before you go to war, at least, sleep with your wife. Then go to war. He says that too, right? Unless he's so valiant he didn't even do that. I don't know. But she's not necessarily a virgin, or David wouldn't wonder if the child was his. See, that part of what's going on is he's confessing his sin. But he's not telling you everything. Men always lie and repent. Trust me. Trust me. Unless they're trying to come clean for us all. And then they're going to try and send as little as possible to that, That's what I mean about the stepdaughter. I'm not going to try to touch her because I know I'm being set up somehow, No, sir. I know if she comes in there by herself and I don't see my ex-wife around her, something strange going on to begin with. And my job's still to treat her like a stepdaughter, not my biological daughter, but my stepdaughter. And not as someone you fuck it for, or mess with it for, or molest it for. I know better than that too. Why do I? Because I am around that myself. I'm a stepchild myself. To my stepdad. So, as far as I know, we never did anything. He never touched me, and I never touched him, right? I ain't said that ever. I do know this about the man. He's straight. Okay? I don't know if he does something at work or whatever's going on there. I don't know, right? But as far as I know, he's a straight man and never touched me, right? I don't know about Mark or little Roddy, what's going on with them, but Roddy was having urination problems until his teens almost. But he did finally break the habit, right? I ain't saying that either. But that comes from a lack of trust of the people who are raising you too, right? And Big Roddy can be rough on you sometimes, though. Right? Right. If you know what I mean, right? If you don't get it together, right? He's not exactly a kind man, but he's not cruel beyond all reasons either. Now it's like switching someone who scratched soap. That's stupid, right? You don't scratch soap and even remember it because it's soap, right? You don't think, oh, I'm scratching soap, it's going to hurt the soap, it's going to do something to the soap. Well, I'm switching you because you thought about it. No, I didn't think of it. I didn't know I scratched the soap as a problem, right? It's up, right? But I guess I did, right? I don't remember, right? I'm not thinking of it if I did. But you're wanting me or Mark to admit who scratched the damn soap? I don't know. Right? Neither one of us either. Finally, I took the blame, though, right? For me and Mark, right? I took the hit there, right? And got whipped myself, right? For nothing we remember doing, either one of us. But I took the beating for my stepbrother. Because neither one of us knew who scratched it. We wasn't thinking in terms of, we're scratching the soap if we even scratched the soap. You can scratch the soap just by putting it in your hands and rubbing it around a little bit, maybe. If you do it a certain way and not thinking about it right. I guess, right? Who knows? Who knows? So it's not something you normally do, right? You don't, I don't think I was raking it or anything. I don't know if Mark really did it, and he don't know why he did it either, or don't remember it either, right? But there again, he's dead now, so we can't worry about that, right? Either. It's water under the bridge, right? You also gotta let that shit go, right? Yes, it was stupid, and no one knew what he was talking about or why it would be an issue anyway. It's fucking soap, right? It's not gonna hurt the soap if someone scratched it with their fingernails. Wasn't that though clean the nails? See what I mean? But whatever issue it was with him, only he knows why it was an issue to begin with. Not me or Mark. But is that, something you hold against the man? Okay, was it stupid? Yeah, I mean, okay. But I ain't saying the man molested me or, Now he told me about, be careful when you're with a girl, even one time, and like you get pregnant, right? So again, that's why I know Daphne might have had my son that, right? Even though it was quick, right? But like I said, if I'm doubting this because of how she's still treating me, right? See, being estranged from someone for 4 months, even living with them, don't mean you know them at all, right? If she's not really trying to get to know you and you kind of feel like there's no real connection there, right? Besides her needing a husband, right? To get her daughter from Arkansas, right? Which is all it felt like too, right? Right. But then what after the 6 months, right? See, that's where we're going into. Her mom still let her take the daughter to Virginia. Alright, she was with her biological dad for 4 days. Then I met her Thursday evening. To no more than Sunday evening. Alright. And was back on base by either Friday evening or Monday morning. Monday evening. one or the other, I got my shit back, right? Now, like I told you though, right, the whole story, right, involves being stranded in Tennessee. The whole story, right, that's actually right, has more details than that, right? The made up stories too have more details that don't make sense if I'm on the couch and she's in there with her mom, right? You're making me confess it, right? By accusing me in the first place. But then you gotta listen to my confession of all I could have done and where I was at, what was going on, right? You can't pick and choose my confession, okay? If 20 days later I got amnesia and you're not accusing me or going to the police, say it's my ex-wife or her, ex-boyfriend who got her pregnant, who coaxed her to go in there to me, I don't know. All I'm gonna see is a child needs assistance in the middle of the night, right? And my job as her stepdad is to help her get back to her mom as quickly as possible, which is all I know about it, right? You see? Right. And if it's something that looks too weird or too unusual, that ain't what I'm doing, right? And I'm being videoed unaware because I didn't know anyone in the house had a video, right? Camera to record that, right? And part of entrapment is you don't know what's going on. You're interacting oddly, but not yourself either. Right? Right. It looks like you're doing something wrong, but you're making sure of something, right? And then you enter it, right? And then you get in, right? And then you have sex, right? Or you ingest her and you ingest yourself, right? See, there's options in between that, right? Now, you also can't jump scenes weirdly, right? In other words, you can't go from kind of licking her to kind of undress to sex without process, right? In between all that either, right? That's what I mean, right? If you have a video, it's got to be shot oddly, right? Not normally, right? And I would never do that because I know there's zero tolerance for kiddie porn. I don't do illicit drugs, for example, either, right? Right. Mm-hmm. And I really don't drink a lot of alcohol, right? Right. Though Paul does say drink a little wine once in a while for your infirmity's sake, whatever that means, right? Now, he didn't say new wine, old wine, just some wine, right? Right. So again, judge not, lest ye be judged, right? There we go again, right? Whole point here, right? See, I'm the one who would be in the dark if my stepdaughter came into being or not. I would also have a reason to have amnesia, right? Right. From the fall, right? Period. Whether more happened or not, did it, right? All I know is I was blacked out that night, right? I assumed I hit the side of the building or something if I didn't land properly, right? Because the last thing I remember is trying to get onto the window ledge, right? And then backing out, right? So you assume between there and there you hit the side of the building oddly or something else happened, right? If you didn't make it, right? Even though you don't plan not to make it, if you didn't remember what happened, right? And that's where you blacked out at, right? And the last thing you remember is trying to get onto the roof, right? Which you wouldn't tell that to anyone right away unless, right, you think it's something cool, right? But again, even then, right, and you can tell if someone's acting oddly about it, right? And you're going to tell them first, okay, what if I done? What if I did this? What if I did that, right? See, they're attacking you for being locked out your room then, right? And there's nothing you can do once you're locked out of your damn room. But try to get back in somehow. And that's all I'm trying to do there. And to me, maybe not to you, I might could scale a 3-story building because of my ninja training and ninja theater domination. Right. Where the girl has to scale down from a 2-story parking lot or something, right? And jumps from the parking lot, right? Now she's not jumping from the top, but a certain portion, right? About 2 or 3 stories, right? Who cares, right? Right. I figure I can at least lower down to the window ledge and get back up somehow. Or if I had to jump, I might land it, right? Either way. Or scale down. See, ninjas know how to scale down a building as well as back up, right? Now the difference is going up, I would have to do it differently though, right? Than going down, right? See, going up would be harder, but not going down once you're on the window ledge, right? You could even scale down, right, from that vantage point once you're on the 3rd-story window, right? Right. To try and see if the window's open, right? That's a rational decision to make, too, if that's your last option to get into the room or sleeping in the lounge for the rest of the night. And you still don't have a shirt on yet, right? Yeah. And the money should still be in the room by the morning. So unless, like I said, someone stole the key to get to the money and then got to the money, that's also another reason you're trying to get to the room, right? Plus your ID and everything else in the room, right? Not just the key and the money, right? Which they find the key with no money the next day, right? So that still implications someone by morning stole the money. That's all you know, right? From your memory of it. If there's more that happened, right, the person that accompanied me afterwards, right, has to fill in the gaps because I don't remember anything else, right? All I know after that is I woke up in the ER, right? And assumed I slipped on my way down, right? Because the last thing I remember was letting go to try and land on the window ledge, right? And I assumed I didn't make it, right? And slipped. Now, see, either way, I'm prepared, right? See, a Boy Scout doesn't want to jump or fall 3 stories, but you're locked out your room. And suspiciously, while trying to go out that night, before you can go out though, your key turns up missing, right? And you got the money in the room. That's the only way back into the room, right? When you leave the room, right? And you want to go out. Mm-hmm. Now, sometimes, like I said, when you're in a hurry, right, you can sometimes forget to leave the key in the room, but then the money, too, will be in the room in the morning, right? Everything will be right. If the money is missing, someone took the key before morning. Or they got the money, which would be security, after they went into the room and saw the money, right? But see, they might not think I would remember that detail. But the ones who could have took it would be security, right, who broke into the room, right? But finally the next morning, not that night, right? That's bad too, right? For me. But all I know is someone has the key. Not why either. Yeah. Or who? So. And see, either way, I can only tell you what I remember before, during, and after. So if I have amnesia at some point, right, the amnesia happened between the time I tried to get into the window, right, and the time I woke up in the ER, right. Now, if that's a longer time, right, than I thought, right, and I landed on the lead safely, I was knocked out later on by somebody, right? And that's the only other way to knock you out, right? And they're trying to cover it with the height of the building. Yeah, yeah. But does that match the x-rays? Even if you were knocked out on the way down and landed oddly on your left side, would it do that kind of damage oddly, right? Where there's more damage in the upper region than in the lower region, you see what I mean? The ankle's only injured on the inside, right, of the ankle, not the, it's injured weirdly, right? But the sacrum's injured worse, right? You see what I mean, right? Almost like it was hit, not injured in a fall, right? Multiple times, too, right? More than once. So much so it's black down there, right? Where that would be no sign of any spinal fluid either. Right, I know that too. Right. I know it's supposed to be light down there. I know it's supposed to be light down there. Unless you're doing an obscure photo, you know what I mean, right? The fluid's supposed to flow all the way down to the bottom of the sacrum, which goes to S5, right? Now, after that is your coccyx, which is a smaller part of the tailbone, right? It becomes the tailbone, right? As we call it, right? We call the femur the thigh bone, right? Right? Right. Exactly. So I know my anatomy too, right? But who did it? Someone on base? Right. More likely, but could I have called Pastor Thomas? Maybe. Or my ex-wife? Maybe. Right. But it's still 20 days after, right, I moved back to base, right? Whoever knocked me out that night, right, okay, right, they find me on base later on too. Now, if it's Daphne and I called her, she would have to pick me up where? Outside and in front of the parish. Right, right. If it's Pastor Thomas, same thing, right? If it's someone on base, again, right, there you go, there you go. So that's your three suspects there, right? Right, right. That's the problem. There's more than one suspect, right? I can't say who's doing what there, right? Or why. And like I said, you can make up anything to say it could be any one of the three on base, right? But if the money ain't in the room, right, and the key is, right, the money is missing by morning, right? So either they got it that night, I lost the key, or by morning, right? But first they got to get into the room and see there's no money, right? Right? So, again, right, when did it start? When someone got the key to steal the money? Right. Unless one of the security guards who I talked with the night before took the money himself, right? You see what I mean there too? Right. There's a possibility of that too, right? Or again, he knew Pastor Thomas and Pastor David's too, right? See what I mean? Right. We start when you're 16. Right. See, someone knows what I survived at 16, not me, right? 30 and 2, right? They know more about it than I do. And they can stalk me easier than I can stalk them if I have amnesia there too, right? And like I said, either it's two different persons or it's what? The same person. Right. Both times. And the second time, okay, He's not sure if he paralyzed me with the bat, but he's trying to make sure with the damn fall, it looks like I should be paralyzed from the waist down. Right. But Jesus heals me. Right. Of both injuries. Right. One's either a bat or the other could be a nightstick. I don't know. Right. I'm guessing. Right. After that too. Right. And this ain't a nice guy. Right. He uses ninja tactics falsely, right, to cover his ass, right, and he knows he was wrong. And he knows Jesus ain't sparing me because of him, but because of my faith in Jesus, right? Right. If he don't have any, he's a dead man walking anyway. I told him that, right? But if I do, you're messing with the wrong man because you can't ever really kill me, right? Until I complete my vow. If it has to do with the two witnesses, I might have to go to Jerusalem and face the Jews, right? And tell them what they're doing wrong with their religion, and we're going to have hell to pay, right? But I might have to do that, right? They're both the answer to the problem and the problem, right? Exactly the problem. Exactly the problem. They can either be the answer if they unseal the seals, or the problem if they keep them sealed, right? And keeping the seals sealed is the problem. Yes. Yes. And John's bringing it out more from Isaiah's perspective, that it's the vision of Christ where he has female breasts that you're sealing. Right. You're denying the feminine aspect of God. Right. Is in God too. Right. Because he's in her as well as you, idiot. It should be as simple as that. Right. The Spirit is in you both. But if the body of Christ is both, right, as one body, right, then he's a true hermaphrodite, right? And you're not telling people that, you're lying about it. You're omitting it, right? You're pretending it don't even exist when it does, right? I've seen them on pornos, right? Fully naked, and I know what one looks like, and they're not he-she's, right? They're he-and-she's, right? They're both. Fully both. And can have sex with a man and come in a woman, right? That means they have testicles inside, right? And again, ovaries too, right? Now, if you have that down there, right, you would need an extra rib like Adam had, right? But he had 13, not 12, right? Ribs. If you take one away to make the woman, how many ribs did Adam have? He has 12 now. 13. 13, right? 12 plus 1 is 13, right? She's the 13th rib. There she is. And she was taken out of him to make her 12 ribbed body, right? Women do have 12 ribs, yes. Why? The 13th rib was her in his body. He needed it to protect the internal organs of both him and her. Right. One more rib for that function. Right. But it can't fully protect you because there's something between the hip bone and the last rib. Right. The matter needed, right, to make your stomach, right, and your intestines, right, and your bottomless pit. Now, what did I tell you about the bottomless pit and Satan was cast into it, right? What does that mean? 7 devils were cast out of Mary Magdalene. 7 men had 1 woman to wife. Right? 7 brothers have 1 woman to wife. Jesus knew a woman who had 5 husbands, 1 lover, and was the 7th man she met. Figure this all out. 7 women shall take hold of 1 man. So you will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only else be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Rachel had a reproach. She had 1 son with Jacob, Joseph, right? But her second son, Benny, was not originally named that. Benjamin, right, was named something else, right, originally by her. She was called Son of Her Pain. And that's also because she didn't have a child until what?